So if we say we have your car on video over there where we found the body, what do you say to that?
If you say you got my car on video and you say this is showing all of this, let me see it. What is that supposed to mean?
That's your car.
How is it? Okay, so how are you just gonna tell me that's my car?
This is 42-year-old Robert Howard, and he just realized he can't hide what he did any longer.
She's never been with me.
She has. You killed her.
I can.
Her and you killed her.
No, I did not.
A few days ago, 12-year-old Naomi Jeanell Jones was reported missing by her mother, but it didn't take long until Naomi's body washed up in a lake, severely decomposed, with multiple horrifying injuries. As detectives began questioning neighbors inside the apartment complex where Naomi lived with her mother, one man's story quickly stood out. His account of what he did the day Naomi disappeared kept changing, small details shifting each time he spoke.
What time did you pick Naomi up?
I never picked Naomi up.
You sure about that?
I'm positive.
About the time you leave your apartment is the time she goes missing.
But what no one yet realized was that he was quietly fighting to keep a far darker secret hidden. Inside the interrogation room, detectives carefully planned how to uncover the truth. Yet what they didn't expect was just how disturbing that truth would be.
And so you hadn't seen Naomi?
No.
Do you know who Naomi is?
Yes, I know exactly who she is. I see her. Well, we see her every time we're in and out the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Her and her brother, they're either out there playing with their dog, or they're on that back balcony, or they're in between the apartments playing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they speak anytime we come in or out. They speak.
Mm-hmm.
So I know who she was. Yes.
Had you seen her at all that day?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
You live in the next building over?
She lives in they were downstairs here. My girlfriend's apartment is upstairs here.
On the next building over?
Yes.
Okay, so you left. Okay, you talked to Naomi's mom.
Yes.
Hadn't seen her, blah, 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 blah. What did she say to you? Anything?
No, she just asked me how I'd seen her. I told her, no, ma'am, I hadn't seen her. She was like, well, you know, that she told me she don't know how long she's been gone, and that her brother didn't even know how long that she'd been gone.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that he didn't know she had left.
Okay.
And so we stood there and talked. Like I told her, I said, no, if I hear or see anything, I would let her know. I would call Lauren and let Lauren let her know. And I told her if she found her, to call Lauren or let Lauren to let me know that she was found.
Okay. So when you left the apartment, where'd you go?
Work.
What time did you leave the apartment?
I got to work maybe between 5:15, 5:30, somewhere up in there. So I'm gonna say probably left the apartment around 4:30.
And you said you got to work at what time?
We were clocked in at 5:36. So I'm gonna say we got to work about 5:30, 5:35.
And where do you work at?
Freight car.
FRIT?
Mm-hmm. I see her. She sees me, or she sees however we run. She speaks. That's it.
Do you hang out in any certain areas of Pensacola, or what do you do when you're here in Pensacola?
We're pretty much at the apartment.
Okay.
That's if I go work out in the morning, I go work out in the morning, and that's pretty much it.
Do you ever go? Do you have any other friends that live in Pensacola?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know anybody, say, over in the Lincoln Park area?
Where's Lincoln Park? He said something to me earlier about Lincoln Park. What is Lincoln Park?
That's
He said something. I said, well, he said something to me about Lincoln Park, and I asked him. He said something like west of the interstate. I don't know which way is west.
like if you're coming from Bruton and you're coming south on Highway 29.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you usually turn off to go to?
I turn
the apartment.
right there at right at 9 Mile. I get off on 9 Mile.
Okay. If you kept coming south, like past 9 Mile,
Mm-hmm.
and came up to, like, where Carpenter's Campers is on the corner of 29 and Detroit, right there?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you took a right going west, that would be like Lincoln Park area over in there.
I got you.
You know anybody over in that area? Do you ever go over in that area?
We went to church over there before at
You can describe the church if you can't remember the
It's
name.
just a big church.
Is it like a big metal building church that
Yeah.
sits like off the road over there? Okay. How often do y'all go to church there?
Whenever we Maybe once or twice a month, maybe.
When was the last time you went? Just curious.
Past Sunday.
Okay. Today's Wednesday. So this past Sunday you were at church there? Okay. Is that the only time you go over on that part of town?
Detectives were asking Robert about this specific location, as this is where Naomi often was whilst playing in the nearby park. This is important, as it builds a local familiarity between him and Naomi. True crime. Now that's a very interesting topic.
Don't you fucking move. Hey, fucking trick. You can't say shit to me. In the car. Fucking shut the fuck up.
Now, imagine seeing so much more. Well, that's why we went all out and decided to create channels in every niche, which are still based on true crime for you to enjoy. I mean, who doesn't like seeing people's reactions like these?
I'll spit on you. I want to cry. Oh my God.
Hey, Jesus.
From no commentary to just interrogation, because I know some of you guys hate that. But that's not the end. We really enjoy what we are building, so we have an exclusive Patreon community where they get first-hand access to anything we post and all uncensored footage and images. And some of the things are truly horrifying.
And you said the last time you saw, I'm just going to call her Naomi, that's her name, Naomi, would have been that past weekend. Okay. Did y'all have any interaction then, or?
No. Not the man. I say if it was just speaking, coming in or either out.
How old do you think she is?
They say, well, I know they say she's 12 years old from the flyer.
Before that, I mean, how old do you think she was?
A kid, maybe, I said maybe 10, 11 before that.
So she looked young?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. What time did you say you left the apartment that day? To go up to Bruton?
Which time? Because I went twice. I went to see
it'd have been earlier in the day.
I went to see a friend. I left around like close to about 12:15, 12:30.
Okay.
Or to see what friend?
Yolanda Mitchell.
When did you do that?
That Wednesday.
Okay. I didn't have that in the list of stuff we went through. Where was it, before you dropped Lauren off or after you?
It was after I dropped Lauren off. When I dropped Lauren off, that's where.
That's where you went
yeah,
before
I went to
Bruton?
see. Yeah, I was going to see her.
Okay.
Now she lives in Bruton. That's why I was going to Bruton to see.
Okay. So you got into Bruton. I have down 130 to 140, and then you went to.
I was going to see her, but when.
What's her name again?
Yolanda Mitchell. YOLUNDRA Mitchell. MITCHELL.
Okay. And you were going to go to her house?
Yes.
Where's she live?
I cannot remember the street name, but it's at 112. Her phone number is 251-591-6108. But when by the time I got this shit, I already left to go to the funeral. But we talked from the time I left Pensacola till I got to Bruton.
You did say that your friends already went to the funeral, but I didn't know you were meeting a friend
Yes, I was
specific.
meeting her.
So.
Yes.
Okay.
What kind of relationship you have with her?
We mess around. We
Okay.
mess around.
How old is she?
37.
Okay. And I assume Lauren doesn't know
No,
that?
she doesn't.
Okay, I got you. Just a little something on the side?
Yes.
I got you. All right. Does your car have any, like, GPS on it or anything like that?
No.
I got you. All right. And you said you left the apartment complex about 12:30ish to go up that way?
I
Okay.
left Walgreens and then we went back to the complex.
So if we talked to, what was her name again?
Yolanda.
Yolanda.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure she'll tell you that we talked the whole time, and I went to see her. Actually, we took a lunch break that night on Wednesday night, and I went to see her for about 30 minutes. And we took a lunch break that Wednesday night.
Did you have this same phone number that you gave me? Did you have it that night that you called her on, or is it a different number?
No, I called her.
It was that phone number, so your
yeah.
phone record would say that
Yeah.
you called her for a
Yes.
certain amount of time that day.
Yes.
Okay. And you gave me her phone number so I could just check to see that you called her.
Okay.
Okay.
You went to her house on your lunch break?
Yes, that evening. Yes.
Okay. How long were you there?
About 30 minutes, maybe. It was just like a lunch break. And she lived like right around the corner. Well, Yeah, basically right around the corner from Fred, the neighborhood over across from it.
Oh, so she lives real close to
Yeah,
your
she lives
job?
real close to you.
What time did you take your lunch break?
Maybe about 8:39. Between 8:30 and 9.
Would you say the duration of your phone call with her on the way to Bruton was?
It's going, because the service is going to cut in and out, so it's going to say, you know, from this time to this time. But I called her maybe, you know, once I got maybe the 29, so I'm going to say about, I talked to her until she went into the service. You know, I said she went into the service before I actually made it all the way to Bruton, because she had to go to Evergreen. So
It was clear to the detectives by Robert's body language alone that he was uncomfortable, as he was constantly shifting positions, unable to sit still, even though at this point they have not asked him any accusatory questions. But that was about to switch.
What kind of girls are you into? I mean, what do you like?
like grown women. I mean, women that's my age. I mean, like I really have no preference of what size or, you know, how fat or how skinny, how tall or thin, but they're gonna be legal. You know, I don't fool with no kids. I don't mess with no teenagers, anything like that.
I got you. I mean, you like younger girls, like.
I mean, I haven't been with anyone younger than Lauren.
What's the youngest girl you've been with?
Lauren is the youngest girl I've been with.
She's 30?
30, yes.
I got you. Is there any reason, like, your DNA would be on Naomi's body or anything like that?
I don't see why it would be. We've never been in spitting distance of each other. So, there's no reason it would be.
Okay. So you've never had any physical contact with her
None
before?
whatsoever.
Okay. What if I were to tell you that your car was in the area where her body was found that night?
No, that's impossible.
Why?
Because it could have been.
Why? Tell me why.
Because when I have my car, it's either at work. When I leave work, I come straight back to Johnson Avenue, Lauren's apartment.
Did anybody else have your car that night?
No one ever has my car.
So you don't know, does Lauren ever drive your car?
She has a few times, but it's been a little while since she drove my car.
You don't ever loan your car out?
No.
Okay. If we were to subpoena your phone records, are they going to show you in that area?
They wouldn't show me in that area.
Okay. I'm just going to be honest with you. What time did you pick Naomi up?
I never picked Naomi up. Just being honest with you.
You sure about that?
I'm positive.
Well, about the time you leave your apartment is the time she goes missing.
But the thing about that is, when I drop Lauren off, I go straight to Bruton. So how is it that I can pick her up?
The thing about that is that we already have your phone records.
Okay.
And you were at the apartments at 1:30.
I was gone at 1:30.
Phone records show no, you were there at 1:30. That phone number that you gave me is the phone number we subpoenaed for the records. You were at the apartments at 1:30. You were not in Bruton.
I was on my way to Bruton.
You were. I'm not going to argue with you.
I mean, you don't have to argue, but okay. If you say I was at the apartment, just please search my license. Nothing has been changed in my car since the day that the first officer flipped through it and looked through it. Everything's in there. If you find anything in that car, it's going to be from Yolanda Mitchell. From where she sits in that front seat and talks to me. Other than that, that's it.
Do y'all have sex in your car?
And we've never had sex in the car. No.
Did she ever perform oral sex on you in that car?
No, she hasn't.
Okay. I think one or two things happen. You either have a fetish or were attracted to Naomi and you got her to get in your car and things might have gotten, let's say, a little carried away, or either you're just a stone cold killer, man.
Well,
I mean,
it's
one or the other.
neither, because I never got her to get in my car. She's never been in my car. That's why I've never cleaned my house. I've never cleaned my car because of that. So I feel like if I clean that car and y'all find it clean, oh, well, he cleaned it before we can get to it. That's why I didn't do that.
Why would you even think?
Because the day that when they looked through the day that they questioned us, I had to get a brake job done.
Pay attention to how the first thing Robert responded with is how he is attracted to grown women, not kids, when that wasn't really the question the detective even asked. At this point, the detectives already had evidence that showed Robert was involved in Naomi's disappearance and death. Yet to solidify their case, they would need a confession, which wouldn't come easy, but it was clear Robert was already crumbling, meaning it was just a matter of time before he cracked.
What day were you questioned?
Friday.
Okay.
And I told the guy, I said, well, I had an appointment to get a brake job done at 10. I said, I'm not leaving because y'all questioned me. I said, I need to go get this brake job done. He was like, that's fine. But the guy that was with him as his partner, I don't even remember the name. I think it was like Officer Paul or something.
Mm-hmm.
But the other guy that was with him came, looked through my trunk. He opened my back seat, looked in it, front seat, looked in it. And from that day there, I said, don't clean this car out. Because I feel like, it's eventually going to come. So I'm already, have a status of sex offender. So whatever I have is going to be searched. I feel like that anyway.
Right.
Because I'm already a potential suspect, I guess. Can you say that?
But wouldn't you agree you had time to clean the car before you were even questioned?
Sure, but I didn't. There was no need to. I told Lauren the same thing.
What did you tell her?
When we talked about it, when I told her to look through my car, I said, I'm not going to clean that car because I feel like it's going to come back. So they're going to be like, we need to see this car. I told her that. I told Yolanda that when me and her talked about it.
What made you feel that way?
Like I just told you. I feel like, when you look through it, I'm right there at the complex where this child's missing. I'm right there. I'm already, like I said, sex offender status is over my head already. So I'm right there. So he's right here. So why not just check him out?
Somehow, Robert tried to make detectives feel sorry for him for being a registered sex offender. Obviously, it didn't work.
Right.
That's why. To get myself in the clear, I said I wasn't cleaning the car and I wasn't cleaning my house. That way, if you need to search it, go through it, however, do that.
I got you. Do you hunt or anything?
No.
Have you ever hunted?
Mm-mm.
Like when you were younger?
No.
Never really been in the outdoors or?
I've never owned a gun, anything to hunt with. No. My father didn't own one, I didn't own one. We didn't have stuff like that to hunt with, so no.
What kind of jobs have you had in your life?
I worked at a packing plant. Place called New South Apparel. It's no longer anything now. I worked there packing and shipping boxes. And when I got out of prison, I got a job at Frick.
The packing plant, what did y'all pack there? Was it,
clothing.
okay. Was that right out of high school or?
Yeah.
So right out of high school you got a job?
Mm-hmm.
Started working?
Mm-hmm.
And how long did you have that job?
About 4 or 5 months.
And then you get arrested, or
Mm-hmm.
so then you get arrested, and then when did you get out of prison?
December 2013.
And that's when you got the job.
Got the job at Frick like March 2014.
How long have you been over at the apartment? with Lauren?
Lauren moved over there maybe like, it's about, I know because their lease is coming up about maybe like 2 years. I don't say she's been over like 2 years.
And you've been staying off and on over there for those 2 years? How long has Naomi been there? How long have you been seeing her there?
They were there before before Lauren moved there, rather.
Oh, so they've been there the whole time you've been there?
Yeah.
I got you. So if we say we have your car on video over there where we found the body, what do you say to that?
Yeah, like I told you a little while ago, impossible.
So which is it? Did you pick her up and have...
I did not pick her up. I did not have anything to do with that child whatsoever.
Did she come get in your car that day?
She didn't get in anything that I own. Like I said, we've never been in spitting distance of each other at all. At all. She's never been in my car. She's never been in the same room with me. Like I said, we haven't been close at all, period.
Robert kept the act on for a while, hours of insisting he had nothing to do with Naomi's disappearance and murder. But like the detective said, they already have evidence that puts him right in the center of the crime. But Robert chooses to ignore that.
We have your car on video. We have your phone records that show your exact route from where you were at, from the apartments to Bruton, back down to where she was found, back to Johnson. And they show exactly which route you went. You can't deny it. It's your phone number. It's your phone number and your phone records. You could keep denying it, or you can tell me what really happened and give your story of what happened. She's a cute girl. She looks a little older. Maybe you guys had something and...
how can we have something? I've never been around the child.
How do you explain, though? How do you explain that your phone is showing that you're going in those directions? How do you explain that?
If you say you got my car on video and you say this is showing all of this, let me see it. Because there's no way that, none of that.
You want to see it?
There's no way.
All right, I'll show you.
What's that?
A Nissan Altima.
Okay, and what is that supposed to mean?
That's your car.
How's it? Okay, so how are you just going to tell me that's my car out of...
It's your car. Because your phone puts you in that exact spot that that car is at the exact time that that car is on that video.
Okay, if you say so.
We don't say so. I mean, that's what
It's
the
all over.
evidence says.
That is not my car. That's not my car. That child has never been in my car. I've never had that child in my car. Like I said, me and that child has never been in spitting distance of each other. Never.
So you are a cold-blooded murderer.
Because
you're sitting here deny. You don't care. You just put it like you just deny everything and lie because we have proof that you're lying.
But this child has never been in my car.
To me, a 12-year-old baby is dead, and you're sitting here lying through the whole thing about where you were for some reason.
The child has
Why
never
are you
been
lying?
in my car.
Why are you lying about your whereabouts?
The child has never been in my car.
Why are you lying about your whereabouts?
The child has never been in my car.
Okay, so where has she been?
I don't know
Where
she's
did
been.
you put her?
I did not put her anywhere.
Well, then, if she is in
I've
your
never
car,
had
you
her.
must have stashed her
I've
somewhere.
never had her. She's never been with me.
She has. You killed her.
No, I did not.
You killed her.
I can.
You her and you killed her.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
No, I did not.
What'd you do then?
I didn't do anything. I didn't have her.
You that baby.
Okay. I can't argue with what you think or how you feel about it. I can just.
She just turned 12. She's 11 years old.
I did not touch that child. I did not have that child. Okay. All right.
Did she come on to you and
I did not.
things went a little too far?
Nothing. Like I said, I've never been with the child. No kind of weight whatsoever. I've never touched the child. No kind of weight whatsoever.
So she didn't come on to you?
No, she didn't.
Is there any reason there'd be blood on your car?
No. Not at all.
So, help me understand why your car is on video and why your phone records put you in the area where the body was dumped.
I have no idea.
I mean, you got to explain that.
How do I have to explain it? I do not know. I'm sitting here telling you seriously.
That's not a very good answer. I don't know where I was, and I don't know why my phone's...
I told you where I was.
And we know it's not, because we have proof it's not. So you're going to have to come off the truth, or you're just going to look like a liar and a cold-blooded murderer.
Even for seasoned detectives, this level of denial is unusual, but not impossible. As detectives received yet another piece of evidence, Robert's behavior began showing cracks.
You got a dead 12-year-old girl,
okay,
and that's what you're going to go with?
And I'm sorry that she is.
Yeah.
When you're charged with murder?
How about this? She look the same?
She don't look the same. Don't look the same at all. I say I'm sorry about that, man. But like I say, I have nothing to do with that at all. Nothing.
No emotion. You're just a cold-hearted killer.
I'm trying to tell you, I have nothing to do with this. I didn't hurt this child. I didn't kill this child. I didn't put my hands on this child. I didn't pick this child up, take her anywhere. Nothing.
So what's the human blood on your car? They just tested it. It's positive for human blood.
Okay, but my thing is, okay, please find out. Please, because like I said,
Do you know how quickly they're working on this for this case?
I want them to get it just as fast as you want them to get it, because like I said, if there's blood on that car like you say it is, it doesn't belong to this child.
Who's
it doesn't. Hell if I know. I have no idea.
People don't usually just drive around with blood on their car.
Well, I never knew it was blood on the car. That's something new to me.
Yeah, because you would wipe it off.
It says on the passenger side, what? Rear wheel?
Right in front of the rear wheel.
So I don't know about all that. I know it's a scratch on the driver's side right around the rear wheel.
You know why the blood's there? I can tell you why.
Why is it there?
Because you had her in the back seat on the passenger side.
Uh-huh.
That's why you stopped on the bridge the first time.
Uh-huh.
Because she's on the passenger side, you're going to throw her over on that side.
Okay.
But the truck comes, so you leave, you come back, she's on the passenger side on this side, and you throw her over on that side. That's why.
Okay. Test that blood.
It'll be
tested. Oh, we're testing
I know it.
You don't even have to tell it.
I know it.
It'll be done.
I know it. I know it's going to be done. I know it's going to be done. I know it's going to be done. But when it comes back negative and it has nothing to do with this, can I please get a copy of that?
No, if you're not the suspect and it's not her blood, then I'm not giving you a copy.
Okay, I mean, but
I believe you're the suspect, and once you're in jail, you'll get a copy of all this stuff.
It's not. It's not. Like I said, I had nothing to do with that. Nothing. I truly hate that. But
you know, that right there, not a normal reaction. People don't usually stare that hard.
Because I mean,
it's sickening. As you are.
It's sickening.
No, it's not sickening. You're enjoying that.
No, the hell am I?
You're enjoying that.
I promise you. I give you my word.
People usually turn that picture over and they can't even look at it. It's so awful.
I just want y'all to get that tested, because, like I said, that is not her blood on my car. That is not hers. Where it comes from, I don't know, but it's not hers.
You don't even care.
No.
I understand that you may feel and think that.
No, I know you don't give a shit.
Okay, that's just what I was going to say. You may feel and think that I don't give a shit. But as I told you before, I mean, I hate this happening to this child. But that's not my doing.
What's
not my doing at all.
What's going to happen is they're going to know that this is how you were acting. This is the denial, the lying, pompous kind of attitude. that you're giving
How's
them.
it pompous?
Listen, but when you go up there, and we're going to prove this case. Beyond a reasonable doubt, we're going to prove this case. And when you get up there and you're like, you know, begging, Judge, please don't give me the death penalty. I regret, I feel remorse, I'm sorry to the family. You know what? This right here is going to come into play. Because this is your true being right here. You don't give a that little girl is dead.
Okay. And you keep saying this. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
Believe me.
you're gonna be begging.
I understand exactly what you're saying. But I'm telling you, this has nothing to do with me. That's why I want you to get out, and I'd be glad when it's done to prove that that blood on that car does not belong to this child.
Robert seemed to believe that staying calm and denying everything would help him, but by this point, detectives already had enough evidence to prove he had assaulted and killed Naomi. Instead of protecting him, his cold behavior only reinforced the image of someone without remorse, something that could strengthen the case against him. So the detectives decided to take a different approach. They left the interrogation room for a while and brought in another detective who would play the calm, sympathetic act. And this is where it all changed.
Those folks had done this to both y'all at the same time, but nothing is said until she get pregnant.
So they're the same age as your daughter?
They are, no, they're grown. They were at that time.
At the time, that's what
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
Yeah.
What would you think about somebody doing that to your 12-year-old daughter?
I couldn't begin to imagine.
What do you think her mom was feeling right now?
Probably every emotion in the world that can be felt.
Anger? Guilt? Leaving him home alone? Angry that somebody killed her baby? Sad that she's gone? And to know that she lived right next door to the person that did it. And there wasn't shit that she could do for her daughter. You think her mama deserves all this?
No one knows.
No one does. You think her mama deserves closure? Her heart was ripped out of her body. That investigator right there, 6'5", 250 pounds, was about to shed a tear telling that mama that her baby's gone. And we couldn't help that mama find her baby because she was dead. Somebody took her from her house, killed her, and threw her on the side of the road like she was a f***ing dog. And she'll always have to look at her other two kids and never get to see that third one again. I couldn't imagine what she's going through. Every single day that she wakes up, she's going to think it's a f***ing dream. And then she's going to realize it's real. I will never get my 12-year-old daughter back. She'll never get to see her graduate. She'll never get to see her grandkids. It was all taken from her. And that's basically what you just did to your daughter. She's gonna have to live with that every single day. Every day. She's gonna wake up. What in the did my dad do? He is a monster. And I share his name. Your little boy's gonna grow up and learn the truth. That baby's mama deserves some closure.
After just a few minutes of guilt-inducing words from the detectives, Robert was done.
Were you outside when they were walking the dog? No. You just happened to see her coming back outside?
I was already outside.
You were? Where were you at?
And it just came down the steps.
Okay. Did she come out the door?
She had came out, she spoke. I spoke back. She said she had liked my shoes.
She liked your shoes?
For the thank you. And she said something that I didn't understand. So I said, what did you say? She was like, nothing. Went on to my car. Got 2 Powerades out my trunk. Took me in the hospital room for later. And I came back out. Took me my charger. Went to the car. And she said it again. And I asked her what she say. She told me, you heard. I said, no, I didn't. What did you say? And she was like, well, where's Lauren? I said, Lauren's at work. She said, can I come in with you? And I told her no. And she couldn't come in. She kept on. I let her come over. I let her come over. I kept telling her no. She walked over to the steps as I was going up the steps. And she said, I'm coming anyway. I said, no, you're not. The further I went up, the further she came and go. When I make it to the door, she's at the top of the steps, and I tell her to go back home. Go home. Go home. She stands there and she's like, why can't I come in? Why can't I come? I said, because you can. You don't need to be over here. Leave. She starts back down the steps, closes the door. I lock the door. She knocks on the door. I answer the door and I ask her to leave again. As I walk back out on the balcony because I didn't want no one to get the perception that I was trying to lure her in or drawing her in. I walk back out on the balcony. There's not no one in sight, no one. And I was like, man, on any particular day, there'd be 100 people around here. But in this instance, there's no one here. So, I walk back to the end of the balcony. And I tell her just to go home. Again, go home. So she starts down the steps like she's going to leave. So when I turn around, she comes back again. When she comes back again this time, she walks all the way up on me like she's trying to brush up against me, telling me I'm scared of her. I'm like, I'm not scared of you, I just need you to leave. If something happened and somebody say something, then you got a problem.
Right.
There ain't gonna be no problem. There ain't gonna be no problem. So I don't go back to the house. I don't even go back in the apartment. I go sit on the steps. And I'm trying to wait on her just to leave because I don't want no problems about her being around that door.
Right.
So when I go get up, I go throw some in the garbage. She comes right over to the garbage can where I am. Walk back up the steps. Walk back in the house. She's coming back up the steps. She comes to the door. So when she gets to the door, I stand at the door and talk to her. She stands there and she's making gestures to me. Can she come in? can she come in with me? I said, no, you can't come in. I said, because we're going to get in trouble. If you come in here, we're going to get in trouble.
She coming on to you a little bit?
She's trying to.
God. She grabbing on you at all? Grabbing your dick?
No, she hadn't grabbed me, but she's coming really close to me.
Right.
You know, she's coming really, really close. And so, we still standing at the door. And she's like, I'm about paranoid because, I know I have this over my head, and you got this 12-year-old girl standing at the door. And, so she still trying to come in. By now, she's like in the doorway trying to come in, and I still want to let her come in. And so, as I extend my arm to push her back out of the doorway, she pushes my arm down and like pushes me, try to push me back. I ain't gonna say she tried to push me back out of the way, but she like if I slap her arm down, she like tries to push me back.
Right.
Not saying she was trying to force her way in, but she tried to push me back. Okay, so when she tried to push me back, I slap her arm down again. Stop, quit. So this time, I want to say it was gum she's eating. And she says something under her breath. And I'm like, what did you say? And she was like, don't worry about it. So she's still standing there. So right when I close the door, she grabs the knob, tries to open it. I said, get away from the door. Just leave, get away from the door. And when she leaves, I turn around and close the door again. She knocks again. She knocks and finally I open it. She comes in. And she never leaves, never goes no further than the front door. And she's making gestures, sexual gestures.
Like what?
Can she see the dick? She can handle the dick. She got a boyfriend that's 15 and this, that, and the other. I'm like, well, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I really don't. And at this time is when she didn't grab my dick, but she grabbed at like my shirt, the bottom of my shirt, like she was trying to. And so when I grabbed her wrist, told her to stop, look, seriously, you need to leave. And so like she's trying to snatch away, like she's, trying to fight back. And she's keeping on. And I really didn't mean for things to go the way that they did. I didn't try to hurt the child, but before I realized I had choked her out.
How? Just around the neck?
Around the neck. I choked her out around the neck. And I said I didn't really mean for it to happen. I didn't mean to do it. I heard when she was found. That's why I said I would really like for them to take a DNA test, because they said when she was found, she didn't have on no bottom. She was fully dressed. I never took any of her clothes off. I never took anything anywhere. She was fully dressed. I took both of her. She had slides.
Mm-hmm.
I even took her slides and left them with her.
At the creek?
Yes. I said, all this stuff, she didn't have on no bottoms and stuff like that. I don't know nothing about that. I choked her out, yes. I'll admit that I did choke her out, but I did not. That's why I stressed them, do a DNA test. Do this, like I said, because did I have sex with her in my car? No, I didn't do any of that.
Did you have sex with her upstairs?
No, I didn't have sex with her anywhere.
Obviously, she's a good-looking little 12-year-old.
But that sex with her was not anywhere my intention.
Obviously, she was coming on to you. She wanted to see your dick.
That's what she said, but that's not me. I understand.
It is what it is. I mean, she's trying to give you some
but
pussy.
that's not what I wanted from a 12-year-old.
Okay.
That's not what I wanted from a 12-year-old.
I mean, look, I'm not trying to pass judgment on you or nothing like that. She comes up to your house back and forth a couple times. She obviously gets in there. She's flirting with you. I get it. You know, she's grabbing at your shirt. Let me see your dick. I can handle it. So she comes in. She jack you off?
No.
She suck you off?
Nothing.
Nothing
like that.
like
That's
that.
why I said I want them to try to, do whatever DNA test they can. That's why I didn't object to having the swab done or any of that, because I never did anything sexual with her.
I mean, what pushed it to the point of, I mean, was it like playing around?
It really,
Just made you snap?
Just really, really pissed me off, because I'm trying to tell this child to leave. I already know I have this on my head. I know the sex offender shit is some serious shit. I mean, you have to be very careful about whatever you do, and it's pissing me off because, okay, you're doing this, but you don't know how this is making me feel. I'm pissed because, okay, here there's a 12-year-old child. Now, just say somebody walked in. Lauren walks in. Her mom somebody see her walk in, her mom walks in. Okay, and they see her, and the first thing they're going to say is, what you doing with my daughter in here? I don't have your daughter.
Okay. So you grab her by the neck, you shove her against the wall or shove her against the door, or what, while you were choking her?
In the corner of the wall.
Corner of the wall, behind the door, in the corner. And, I mean, I guess at some point she went out.
Yeah.
Then what happened?
She went out. I thought she was had just blacked out, but I had choked her pretty damn good to the point where she wasn't breathing.
How long do you think you choked her for?
I don't even know.
Robert finally confessed to killing Naomi, yet he denied any other abuse. On top of that, he attempted to make himself look like the victim by claiming it was Naomi who came on to him in the first place, but it was all for nothing. Howard was originally charged with first-degree murder, kidnapping, and failure to register as a sex offender. On August 12, 2021, a jury found him guilty of first-degree murder. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.